you, Kim. Hello. How is everyone tonight?
Yeah.
Good. I'm
Fucking
having a
magical.
fabulous day. Before I split with my ex-husband, I was a stay-at-home mom for 14 years.
Woo.
And the girls, I have 3 girls, we would go out every day and go on a walk because, we got to get outside and get some exercise. And one day we go outside and we're going on a little adventure. That's what we call them, not walks, adventures. And there was this little baby robin in the front yard. And we're like, oh, we should save it. So my daughter goes in the house and she gets this little box. And we decide that we're going to put the box up in the tree next to the nest. And so I shimmy up the tree, and very awkwardly, mind you. I put the box up there with the little baby bird in it. And I go inside to put on a few Band-Aids because I'm very clumsy. And all of a sudden I hear this screech like, Mom! Mom! And I come running outside. I'm like, what's wrong? Thinking something awful was happening, and something awful was happening. There was a chicken hawk that came and picked up the baby robin out of the little box that we put in the tree. So I had really just, I figured out why the mom and the dad were like chirping. It was because they didn't want their baby to be eaten by this chicken hawk, and I just pretty much made a nice little lunchbox for the chicken hawk. And this chicken hawk is like flying with this little baby robin, like with its wings, flying it into the other tree to devour it. I guess it was a very good life and death story, not really an adventure that we really wanted to take that day. So, like I said, I am divorced. That was past. I started dating this guy a little bit after I left my ex, and I was like, oh, this isn't really working. And I was like, so I like to make lists, pros and cons lists, when I make big decisions in my life. And I was living with him. It was a weird circumstance that I had to move into his house. And I was like, he has a really nice refrigerator. He makes 2 different kinds of ice cubes. I really like the washer and dryer, and the house is pretty sweet. And then I was like, wait a minute, okay, well, I gotta leave this guy, but I have to definitely put that fridge on my list of things to get. And the guy really sealed the deal when he looked at me and he's like, Jessica, I'm just trying to re-domesticate you. And I looked at him, and like the words that came out of his mouth, like re-domesticate, is like, am I feral? Like, I think I'd rather be feral than re-domesticated again, because that was awful. I mean, I love my children, but goddamn, do not put me in that box again. So, my mom, she's quite the character. She once bought a camouflage garbage can and put it in my grandma's kitchen, and it was kind of in the corner, huge garbage can. I'm like, why did you buy a camouflage garbage can, Mom? That's really tacky. And she looks at me and she's like, well, I just thought people wouldn't be able to see it. And she was being honest. And I have a little bit of my mom in me. I realize I'm a lot like her sometimes. I realized exactly that I was like her. When we had animals when we were younger that we couldn't keep, my mom would take them to my grandma's house, and she'd be like, well, oh no, that's grandma's cat now. I'm like, oh, okay, that's grandma's cat. I really liked Freckles. But I realized I was just a lot like her when I kept my ex-husband there for a while. And it's pretty bad when grandma's like, yeah, he's rabid. Gotta take him to the farm. This is a time of year where depression has always been a struggle for me. I've learned how to deal with it, but in the last few years, anxiety has kind of doubled up. And depression, I can just start eating healthier and work out, and that guy's just like, he goes away. But anxiety's like, oh yeah, you want to work out? How about let's have your heart rate go up to 200 minutes per beat, just sitting there. And you think you're gonna die. It was like, went to the hospital a few times. They're like, no, you're fine. You just have a mental problem. So that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you.
One more. Woo! Woo! How'd you feel about that set? Give it up for Miss Jessica May! Awesome.